After a full day of debate, the House passed the millionaire's tax. What this means now for people here in Washington.
And we are under a weather impact alert as we are bracing for high winds moving into the inland northwest tonight.
All right, Zag fans are still celebrating and dancing a victorious win for both the men's and women's teams last night. Coming up, a look at the WCC Championship and where those teams are now headed next. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here on KREM News at noon. I'm Laura Papetti. Let's talk about weather because it is on everyone's mind as we are bracing now for some pretty extensive winds. Jenny Power is joining us now in the Outdoor Weather Center where it is raining apparently. Jenny.
Yes, it is, Laura. Right now, we are seeing some rain up here on the South Hill in Spokane. And as we take a look at our current satellite and radar, you can see that, yes, we have that band of showers pulling through eastern Washington, really spanning from south to the lower Columbia Basin and into Pomeroy, down on the Palouse. And we're even seeing a bit of a rain-snow mix up toward northeast Washington and through the North Idaho Panhandle. So if that is what you are seeing in your neighborhood, go ahead and send me a message if you are seeing rain or seeing some snow. Live look for you over Riverfront Park in downtown Spokane. We are sitting at about 38 degrees right now, and southwest winds a bit breezy here at about 18 miles per hour sustained coming from the south-southwest. But why we are under a weather impact alert has to do with high winds that are going to arrive for us late tonight and into early tomorrow morning. We're talking gusts upwards of 50 miles per hour, potentially up to 65 miles per hour, and we could see some damage with this. We're talking the potential of power outages, down trees, down tree branches, as well as difficult crosswinds to drive through, especially for high-profile vehicles. We do have some high wind warnings in place across the inland northwest here. So for all these areas that are shaded in this kind of gold color, that's what I've got on my radar. But as far as the timing of this goes, that's coming up here in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Jenny. Gonzaga fans are still celebrating today. Both the men's and women's teams, of course, headed to March Madness after winning the WCC title games. The Gonzaga men's team beating Santa Clara last night. Tournament MVP Graham EK was eager to celebrate the freshmen for contributing to the team.
They're not freshmen anymore. I don't think so after that game. They stepped up to the plate and they took full advantage of the opportunity. I'm super proud of them and what they've been doing this entire year.
Pretty exciting. We'll have to wait until Sunday to see who the Zags are playing in the first round. Of course, more on that coming up. And our Gonzaga women's team took down Oregon State yesterday. This will mark the Zags' 16th trip to the NCAA tournament. It is a win the team says they have been working towards all season long.
This does not feel real. This is literally what we've been dreaming since the first practice of the season, and I don't think it has even sunk in until we actually see our name on the board next Sunday for the Selection Sunday.
And we will find out where the Zags play on Selection Sunday. You can watch the men's selection show this Sunday at 3 o'clock right here, by the way, on KREM 2. Then stay with us afterwards for a special edition of KREM News at 4 o'clock. And in the Big Sky tournament last night, the Idaho men's basketball team beating Eastern Washington for the third time this season. Idaho will now play Montana in the championship coming up at 8:30 tonight. The Vandals women's team is also playing in the Big Sky championship today. They beat Sacramento State yesterday, and now Idaho will play Montana State for the big game. This would be their first title win in a decade. By the way, tip-off is at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Hey, we are on a sports roll. Professional soccer returning to Spokane this weekend. The Spokane Zephyr and Velocity both play at home coming up Saturday and Sunday, respectively, for the first time this year. As the Velocity get ready to kick off their season, KREM 2 is announcing that we will be broadcasting 8 of the football club's matches between April and October. You can see those home and away games. We were going to list those on the screen. Do we have that right now? If not, we certainly have it on KREM.com. For the first match, KSKN 22 will be the spot to watch the new rivalry between Spokane Velocity FC and AC Boise coming up Saturday, April 4th. Now, during the offseason, members of both soccer teams came to KREM 2 for extended interviews. That was in our streaming room. Our group of KREM 2 reporters asked a variety of questions to the owner and coaches as the teams are here in Spokane right now preparing for this weekend's matches. Soccer fans can brush up on their Velocity and Zephyr knowledge ahead of those games. Those extended interviews can be streamed for free right now on KREM 2 Plus. All right. Let's talk other news going on here in the state. Today, the Washington State Senate is debating the so-called millionaire's income tax. It comes after 24 hours of debating in the House, where lawmakers have passed the tax 51-46. Critics are concerned that passing this tax could lead to a broader tax later on, and they say it is unconstitutional. But supporters say this will help working families. The bill would put a 9.9% tax on households that make more than $1 million. They would tax anything over $1 million. Washington has debated doing something like this for a long time. The money from the tax would expand the working families tax credit and fund things like childcare, healthcare, and education.
This has been a lot of work that's gone into this tax reform, and we think it's going to really pay dividends for Washingtonians.
It has to be applied evenly. See, and that's where I think that the courts are going to come in.
Needs to vote on the bill. They have already approved a previous version of it, so they are expected to pass it. And if they do, it will then head to the governor's desk for approval. All right. Take a look at this. These desserts crafted by culinary art students at Spokane Community College. In just 3 minutes, a look at their delicious treats as they get ready for a new semester. All right, but first, let's take a pause on the day's news and head outside and have a look at Riverfront Park on this somewhat gray, a little bit gloomy Wednesday. Hump Day is not looking all that great outside. Also, some rainfall out there as well. Jenny Power back with more weather.